we actually had this like methodology where we kind of went through and looked at the highest airdrops by USD value that were on Ethereum. So I think it was around like 15 we narrowed it down to. And then pretty much like, okay, we want the most high signal like wallets. So yeah, we pretty much filtered by like having like how many of the airdrops we received. So obviously one person could have farmed like, I don't know, millions of dollars of uni way back in the day, but might not be active in 2022, and hence isn't too actionable or not too high signal.
Yeah.
So yeah, it went through a lot of different filters, and then we came to the airdrop pro tag, which was really really interesting. And essentially this report, we kind of wanted to look at the top counterparty contracts from these current airdrop pro wallets. And I think a lot of people, there's like tons of threads on speculating on different airdrops and stuff. But I think a lot of people would appreciate actually kind of like quantitatively following what the airdrop pro wallets are doing. And it might I guess like follow suit with some of the speculation on what airdrops are there, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just
Mhm.
gonna scroll in here. This little visualization of like the top interacting contracts. So we have like Arbitrum, we have Genie Swap, MetaMask swaps, Wormhole, Euler, ZK Sync, Foundation, Gnosis, across protocol. And yeah, it's sorted by the count of the airdrop pro wallets. And yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. And in terms of this is not available on the Nansen AI dashboards, but you can actually like an alpha leak is to really kind of look at what speculative airdrops there are. And if there's like a specific bridge, let's just say like, I don't know, to ZK Sync or to Aztec Network, if that's something that you might be speculating on, you can always just use the top depositors dashboard, and then use that little smart money emoji like you've pointed out. I think there's a lot of alpha in that. And then kind of look at like, okay, what's the distribution of airdrop pro wallets depositing funds here? And is that like some signal there? So that's a pretty interesting way to use the airdrop pro wallets, as well as looking at like what are the counterparty contracts. So you can kind of drill into each specific wallet and look at like, hey, what is this wallet doing? What are the top counterparty contracts, and do they have a token? If not, and kind of come up with your own frameworks from there. But yeah, where this report came in is kind of like digesting this data and kind of creating a framework. So I guess like one more thing I'll show is I think like last week they might have showed this little table, but yeah, it's pretty much just like a bunch of different protocols sorted by the distinct airdrop pro count per each of the top contracts. So obviously, it's the Arbitrum inbox, the swaps contract for MetaMask, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, we kind of give like associated, dashboards as well as, guides. And these are obviously all speculative. It's not financial advice. But yeah, I think it's pretty interesting to look based in the view of the airdrop pro tag. And I think the most memeable and like funny way of looking at it is actually looking at the notable wallets. So as you can tell, a lot of these wallets have definitely made a lot of money. So we wanted to see like, okay, let's sort by the total USD received by these wallets, and we'll take the top ones, and then we'll also take the USD value made per each transaction. And here, if we scroll down, we can see some interesting wallets. So here, I mean, it's pretty astounding. Analytico.eth across. So to be clear, these airdrops that we did was sort of by like the highest value airdrops. So like obviously not all airdrops yield the same rewards. I think some are obviously more profitable than others. And yeah, we can kind of see here across the ones we measured. This wallet has made $23.5 million on airdrops, and it's made like an average of like 2.3 thousand per transaction, and that's like across the six of the airdrops we tracked, which I think is like, yeah, I mean that's pretty good just by being like an early user of protocols and stuff. So maybe 23.5 million signals this wallet might know something.
That's insane. I think it's also like important, not only to kind of see what protocols they're using, but like also to kind of follow what they do with their airdrops. I think I've been intending to write kind of a thread on this, but I know that there's a lot of it's like well recognized now that like 3-day rule of don't sell your airdrop until 3 days, but now everyone already knows about that, so you get front run on the second day. But yeah, so the labels are like really helpful in both ways. Like one, to kind of see what they're doing, and then two, to see how they approach it. And I know this won't come up in like this category of airdrop, but like looking at that $23 million, I remember Dingaling getting like some astonishing amount of ApeCoin. It was like 50 million or something, more than that. That was insane. It won't be worth that now, but yeah, that was the biggest I've ever seen.
Yeah, and so the funny thing is this actually came out before ApeCoin,
Okay.
so the actual wallet label. So yeah, it might be. It probably doesn't have that, at least here with these specific wallets that we have tracked. So yeah, there's probably a lot other really, really crazy, yeah, ape. I think the ape airdrop especially